Listen closely, chosen one, because what I'm about to tell you is not a metaphor or a gentle motivational whisper. It is a declaration, a turning point, a decisive shift in the story of your life. You are standing right now on the edge of a divine career transformation, not someday in the distant future, not when circumstances improve, not when you finally feel ready, now, this very moment. This breath, this heartbeat, something enormous, orchestrated, intentional, and ancient, older than your doubts and deeper than your fears, is moving toward you. You are about to receive a job that carries destiny, honor, and influence. A position designed not just to employ you, but to elevate you. A role created not just to pay you, but to reveal you. And this time, you will not miss what is meant for you. I need you to understand this with absolute clarity. Your season of being overlooked is ending. Your season of being underestimated is ending. Your season of waiting without direction is ending. This is the hour, this is the shift, this is the turning of your fate. Every restlessness you felt in your spirit was a message. Every closed door was preparation. Every moment of wondering, why not me, was heaven answering. Because I'm saving you for something greater. Nothing about your journey has been wasted. Nothing has been random. Nothing has been accidental. You have been shaped, sharpened, and strengthened for a moment exactly like this. Before we go deeper, I want you to take one bold step that marks your agreement with what is unfolding. Write 777 in the comments right now. Not for luck, not for superstition, but as a seal, a symbol that you are ready, aligned, and open for the breakthrough approaching you. When you write it, you are declaring that you accept the shift, you welcome the calling, and you step into the identity that has been waiting for you. Stay with me until the end of this message, because I will pray over your life, not a soft blessing, not a simple hope, but a destiny prayer that opens doors, accelerates opportunities, and pulls your future into your present. You need to hear every word. You need to absorb every revelation. You need to let your spirit rise to meet what is seeking you. You are not being prepared for an ordinary job. You are being positioned for a place of responsibility, influence, and honor. That is power. That is the purpose. That is destiny. And the revelation of where you are being called begins now. If you truly understood what is happening around you right now, you would realize that none of this is accidental. The timing, the restlessness, the inner stirring, the sense that something bigger is approaching, all of it is evidence that you were chosen long before you even had the language to describe your own potential. You have not been wandering. You have not been moving in circles. Even when you felt lost, you were being guided. Even when you felt ignored, you were being watched over. Even when you felt unqualified, you were being prepared. You were never overlooked. You were never forgotten. You were never abandoned. These are not poetic comforts. They are facts written into the architecture of your journey. Every closed door, every delay, every season of uncertainty served a purpose. You may not have recognized it then, but destiny does not unfold in straight lines. It moves in patterns, in layers, in quiet rearrangements. You survived moments that were meant to break you because you were being shaped for something far greater than the roles you once settled for. You were not created to fit into ordinary spaces. You were created to step into rooms where strategy, influence, and impact are born. And the most astonishing part is this: the role that is coming to you is not arriving because you chased it. It is arriving because it has been circling your life, waiting for the version of you who is now emerging. This is where your story begins to resemble a truth C.S. Lewis understood profoundly. In The Horse and His Boy, Shasta spends his early life believing he is unlucky, unwanted, and constantly pushed from place to place by misfortune. Every hardship feels unfair, every detour feels meaningless. But near the end of his journey, he discovers that every terrifying moment, every shift, every forced path was guided by Aslan the lion, who represents divine purpose. What looked like chaos was actually direction. What felt like abandonment was actually protection. What Shasta thought was a series of accidents was, in reality, a carefully woven path, leading him precisely to the identity and destiny prepared for him. Lewis wrote this not as fantasy, but as a reflection of how destiny often hides inside struggle. Your life is no different. The situations that frustrated you were the very forces steering you toward your assignment. The bridges that burned behind you were never meant to be crossed again. The opportunities that slipped away were never truly yours. The disappointments that stung were redirections, not rejections. When you look back, you will see that every season that felt like a loss was actually a turning, a nudge, a recalibration toward the career that fits you in ways you cannot yet imagine. You were being shaped through endurance. You were being strengthened through trial. You were being refined through waiting. You were being positioned through patience. And slowly, quietly, intentionally, life has been molding you into someone capable of holding authority without fear, influence without arrogance, and responsibility without collapse. You learned resilience because you needed it. You developed wisdom because it would be required of you. You grew compassion because leadership without compassion is merely control. Everything you've gained was necessary. Everything you lacked was temporary. Everything you lost was strategic. Destiny chooses its moment carefully. It waits until you are shaped enough to carry the weight. It waits until you are clear enough to recognize the door. It waits until you are confident enough to walk through it. That moment is no longer distant. It is not theoretical. It is not suspended in some future decade. It is approaching now, fast, like a wave you can feel before you see it. You do not need to force anything. You do not need to manipulate outcomes. You do not need to prove yourself to anyone. Your preparation has already spoken on your behalf. This is why you feel the shift. This is why you sense movement in your spirit. This is why you can't go back to who you used to be. A higher path is opening. A larger calling is unfolding. A bigger assignment is stepping out of the unseen and into the visible world. You were chosen for this long before you understood what this even was, and very soon you will see the evidence with your own eyes. There comes a moment in every life when the atmosphere shifts, when the path ahead begins to widen, when you sense that an invisible hand is rearranging everything around you. You are in that moment now. Something about your days recently has felt different, subtle, quiet, but undeniable. You've noticed unusual clarity, unexpected ideas, strange coincidences, and conversations that seem too perfectly timed to be random. These are not accidents. These are signals that destiny is moving into position. A new chapter is forming around you, and the gates you once thought were too high or too heavy are beginning to unlock. A significant opportunity is approaching, and unlike the doors you once knocked on, this one is opening from the inside. You will not have to force it. You will not have to diminish yourself to enter. You will not have to pretend to be someone else to be accepted. The role that is coming is aligned with who you are becoming, not who you used to be. This is why you feel the shift so deeply. This is why your spirit refuses to settle. This is why the old dreams feel too small now. You are being expanded. Even C.S. Lewis once reflected on the idea that life's great changes begin long before we are aware of them. In Mere Christianity, he described how transformation often starts with a subtle internal turning, an almost invisible reorientation of the heart, long before the external world reflects that change. He compared it to a house being renovated. You expect small repairs, but suddenly walls start shifting, rooms expand, and entire structures are rebuilt. At first, you resist because it feels disruptive. But eventually you realize the builder had a far greater design in mind than you ever imagined. Your life is experiencing that same expansion. What feels disruptive is actually constructive. What feels uncertain is actually intentional. This next season will not be defined by striving, but by alignment. Decisions that once felt heavy will feel natural, Paths that once intimidated you will feel familiar. Conversations that once overwhelmed you will feel effortless. When destiny opens a gate, it does not ask you to crawl. It invites you to walk through with confidence. A new environment is calling your name, a place where your mind will be valued, your voice will be respected, and your presence will carry weight. Imagine stepping into a workplace where you feel both challenged and understood, where your contribution matters, and where your future expands every time you show up. Imagine being surrounded by people who recognize your potential instead of shrinking from it. Imagine feeling for the first time in a long time that you are exactly where you were meant to be. This is not imagination. This is foresight. This is the early glimpse of a reality already forming. You can sense it because your life is preparing to elevate. The gates are not just opening, they are opening for you. Not by chance, not by luck, by design. And very soon your footsteps will enter the place that has been waiting for you all along. There is a powerful truth you must understand now. The opportunity that is approaching your life is not something you need to chase. It is something that is already moving toward you with precision and intention. Too often, you have been taught to run after roles, to prove yourself worthy, to expend your strength trying to convince others that you belong. But a destiny assignment does not arrive through begging or striving. It arrives through alignment. When you become the version of yourself that a role requires, the role begins searching for you. And that is exactly what is happening now. A position of honor, responsibility, and influence has already felt the gravitational pull of your readiness. You may not see it physically yet, but the shift is in motion. The conversations have started. The energy has shifted. The air around your path has changed texture. Something with authority is moving in your direction. You must no longer chase approval. You must no longer chase recognition. You must no longer chase opportunities that were never designed for you. When you stop chasing what isn't yours, what is truly yours finally has the space to arrive. The role coming to you does not require performance. It requires authenticity. It does not require force. It requires presence. It does not require desperation. It requires alignment. This is why your spirit has been going through such a deep internal change. You are being prepared for a seat that demands clarity, not confusion, boldness, not insecurity, depth, not noise. Your internal world is being strengthened, so your external world can expand. You are being called into a space where decisions shape futures, where conversations influence outcomes, and where your voice carries real weight. Picture yourself walking through the entrance of a building unlike any you have worked in before. The architecture exudes precision, elegance, and history. The moment you step inside, you sense that people here do not just work, they impact, they create, they lead. You can almost feel the echo of significant decisions made in the rooms around you. And soon, your voice will be part of those echoes. Your insight will shape strategies. Your ideas will become catalysts. Your presence will shift atmospheres. The role that approaches you is not ordinary. It is a position associated with honor, responsibility, and influence, three pillars that will define your next chapter. Honor, because you will finally be treated with the respect your character has earned. Responsibility, because your leadership will extend beyond tasks into purpose. Influence, because your contribution will matter in ways you have never experienced before. This tricolon is not a poetic exaggeration, it is a preview of what is forming. There are places where your absence is currently being felt, even though you have never set foot in them. There are conversations where someone unknowingly describes the very solution you carry. Needs are rising in rooms that match the exact strengths you possess. Your purpose is being magnetized toward the environment that fits it. You may wonder how such a significant shift could happen so unexpectedly, but destiny often accelerates without warning. One moment, everything feels familiar. The next, everything begins to rearrange. That is the nature of divine timing. It does not unfold gradually. It arrives with a suddenness that makes sense only in hindsight. And yet, if you examine the recent patterns in your life, you will see the signs, the endings that did not make sense, the discomfort that pushed you forward, the intuition that whispered, "There is something more." These were not coincidences. They were preparations. Every experience you've endured has carved depth into you. Every challenge has built stamina. Every misstep has sharpened discernment. These qualities are not accidental, they are required. High positions demand high resilience. Influence demands character. Responsibility demands maturity. You have been trained for this in ways you did not realize. Now the training is nearly complete, and the assignment is stepping forward. You must understand that this role will not simply appear in your life. It will arrive with clarity. You will not question whether it is for you. You will not doubt whether you belong. You will feel a deep sense of recognition, the kind that resonates in your bones. It will feel like stepping into a place you somehow always knew existed, even if you could never describe it before. It will feel like purpose. It will feel like alignment. It will feel like home. The moment is approaching when you will walk into a room and silence will fall not because of fear or intimidation, but because your presence carries the unmistakable imprint of someone stepping into destiny. The shift you sense is not imagined. It is real, intentional, and close. Something with authority is not just coming toward you, it is accelerating. And very soon, you will understand why nothing else ever worked out, because you were always meant for something far greater than what you once settled for. You may not see it clearly yet, but the strength required for the role approaching your life is already inside you. Everything you have walked through, every challenge, every disappointment, every season of pressure has shaped you with precision. Worthiness is not something granted by others. It is something that forms slowly through endurance, courage, and the decision to keep rising even when circumstances try to bury you. You did not simply survive your past. You outgrew it. And that growth is the very evidence that you are ready for what is coming. There were moments when you questioned your path, wondering if your struggles disqualified you. But struggles do not disqualify a person, they refine them. The moments that made you doubt yourself are the very moments that deepened your character. Each setback sharpened your discernment. Each disappointment strengthened your resilience. Each ending revealed a new layer of wisdom. Without realizing it, you were being prepared for a position that requires emotional maturity, mental clarity, and spiritual grounding. You learned to stand when standing hurt. You learned to breathe through situations designed to suffocate your confidence. You learned to rebuild your sense of self from the ground up. These lessons were not random, they were building blocks. They were forming in you a quiet authority, the kind of authority that cannot be faked or borrowed. Leadership does not come from titles, it comes from endurance. Influence does not come from attention, it comes from depth. And power does not come from ego, it comes from integrity. Every piece of your journey has contributed to the depth you now carry. This is why the opportunity that approaches you is not beyond your capacity. You are not stepping into something too big for you. You are stepping into what you were shaped to hold. Your resilience is not accidental. Your intuition is not accidental. Your strength is not accidental. These qualities are signs that you have grown into someone who no longer needs permission to rise. You have already earned the right to step into the role that aligns with your life. You do not need to push yourself into rooms that do not recognize your value. You do not need to beg for opportunities that only see a fraction of who you are. You are stepping into a season where your worth will be recognized without you having to explain it. A season where your presence speaks louder than introductions. A season where your competence is undeniable, your character is respected, and your potential is finally understood. You are worthy not because life was easy, but because you endured. You are worthy not because others validated you, but because you kept growing even when no one applauded. You are worthy because you became someone capable of carrying responsibility with grace, influence with humility, and success with clarity. And soon, the world will see the strength that has been developing inside you all along. There is a moment in every rising journey when the shift becomes undeniable, and you are now standing in that moment. Whether you realize it or not, your name has already begun moving ahead of you. Conversations you are not physically present in have started to shape the path that leads to your next role. People you have not met are describing someone who sounds remarkably like you. Decisions are being influenced by needs that match your strengths. Doors you have not touched are unlocking because your identity, your character, and your potential have reached places your feet have not yet stepped into. This is not imagination. It is momentum. When destiny prepares a seat for someone, it does so quietly at first. Your name enters the room long before your body does. Your reputation, your resilience, your consistency, your integrity, they begin speaking on your behalf. In rooms where strategies are being formed, in spaces where opportunities are being distributed, in discussions where new leadership is needed, something about you is resonating. Not because you pushed your way in, but because the energy of your preparation carries weight. The right people are sensing it, the right environments are attracting it, the right opportunities are aligning with it. Your path is not opening by coincidence. It is opening by recognition. There are individuals right now evaluating problems that only your mind can solve. Teams are preparing for changes that require the steadiness you have cultivated. Leaders are looking for the exact qualities that took you years to build. And while you may still be contemplating your next move, your future is already in motion. That is how destiny works. It travels ahead, clearing the space, shaping the opening, and preparing the atmosphere so that when you arrive, everything fits. Imagine walking into a place so aligned with who you are becoming that you feel an immediate sense of belonging. Imagine stepping into a room and sensing that it was waiting for you. Imagine hearing people say, "We've been looking for someone exactly like you." This feeling will not be unfamiliar when it happens. It will feel like recognition. The moment you enter, you will understand why every rejection, every delay, every detour was necessary. You were not ready for those earlier rooms because those rooms were not designed for who you were becoming. But this new space, this higher level matches your evolution. Understand this clearly. You are being positioned, not pushed. You are being elevated, not exposed. You are being prepared to take your place among people who see your potential without needing proof, who value your insight without resistance, and who respect your presence without question. The era of shrinking to fit is ending. The era of rising into your rightful space is beginning. And the most powerful part is that the role coming to you is not arriving through competition, it is arriving through alignment. This is why you feel the pull, the shift, the anticipation. Your spirit senses what your mind cannot fully articulate yet. You are on the brink of entering a space where your contribution will be noticed, your ideas will be welcomed, and your future will expand with every step you take. Your name has entered the very places you once thought were unreachable, and soon your presence will follow. The rooms that once felt distant are closer than you think, and when you walk into them, you will not walk in as a stranger, you will walk in as someone who was expected all along. There is a point in every breakthrough where the atmosphere becomes charged, where you feel something moving even before anything becomes visible. That is exactly what is happening in your life now. The shift is not coming. It has already begun. You can sense it in the way your thoughts have changed, in the way your priorities have sharpened, in the way your old environments no longer fit who you are becoming. This is not a coincidence. This is not luck. This is not a chance. Something higher, wiser, and more precise is orchestrating the path ahead of you. You are being guided toward a role that aligns with the deepest parts of your identity, a role designed to expand you, stretch you, and reveal the fullest version of who you are. When destiny moves, it does not knock softly. It alters the energy around your life. It disrupts the familiar. It shifts relationships. It stirs restlessness inside you to push you forward. You begin to feel drawn toward something you cannot yet name. Doors that once felt permanent begin to loosen. Situations that once felt stable begin to reshape themselves. This is the way divine alignment works. It prepares you internally before it reveals anything externally. You have likely noticed that certain things no longer hold your interest. Certain people no longer speak to who you are. Certain opportunities that once excited you now feel too small. That is because your spirit is growing faster than your surroundings. You are outgrowing the version of yourself that had to fight for space. You are evolving into someone who will be invited into rooms rather than squeezed out of them. This internal shift is not a phase. It is a signpost. It is the evidence that your next chapter is near. As you move forward, the path will become clearer. The noise around you will be quiet. The distractions that once pulled you away will fall aside. You will feel more grounded, more focused, more certain, because the role that is approaching is not random. It is intentional. It is purposeful. It carries weight, honor, and direction. And you are being aligned with it step by step, moment by moment, breath by breath. You are not walking toward an ordinary future. You are walking into a divine assignment. And everything within you already knows it. You have reached the moment where everything within you must make a choice. Not a small choice, not an uncertain choice, but a decisive, powerful declaration that you are ready for what is aligning with your life. This is the point where hesitation must fall away and clarity must rise. You cannot step into a destiny you have not claimed. You cannot walk through a door you have not acknowledged. You cannot receive what you have not declared readiness for. So now, I invite you to anchor this moment with intention. Type the words, "I receive my destiny job," and let this declaration settle into the deepest parts of your spirit. As you speak it, your energy shifts. As you write it, your path opens. As you claim, your future responds. Take a breath. Stand firmly in who you are becoming, and prepare yourself, because the next part of this journey requires your full presence. Take a deep breath and allow this moment to settle into your spirit, because what you are about to receive is not an ordinary prayer. It is a declaration over your future, a seal upon your path, a calling forth of every opportunity, door, and assignment that has been waiting for you. As you listen, let every word resonate in the deepest part of you. Your life is shifting. Your purpose is awakening. Your future is responding. And now, with full clarity and full intention, we enter this moment of alignment. I speak over your life with certainty. The path before you is opening. The road that once felt blocked is clearing. The opportunities that once seemed distant are drawing closer with purpose and precision. You are stepping into a season where you will no longer chase what is meant for you, because what is meant for you will recognize your strength, your preparation, and your readiness. You are walking into alignment with the future, designed specifically for your gifts. You are stepping into a field of possibilities where your talents will not only be seen, but also celebrated. You are moving into circles where your presence makes sense, your voice carries weight, and your worth is acknowledged without question. I pray for clarity in your mind. Let every fog of doubt dissolve. Let every distraction lose its power. Let every whisper of fear fall silent. May your thoughts become sharp, your decisions become confident, and your vision become clear. You will no longer question your abilities. You will no longer shrink to accommodate spaces that cannot contain your potential. You will no longer criticize yourself for old wounds or outdated stories. From this moment forward, you will see yourself as someone capable, someone chosen, someone prepared. I pray for the courage to rise within you, courage to walk toward the opportunities that intimidate you, courage to step away from environments that no longer support your growth, courage to choose yourself in moments when the world tries to overlook you, courage to claim what belongs to you, even when others do not yet understand your purpose. You will not fear the unknown. You will not fear success. You will not fear responsibility. You will step into the next chapter with boldness, grace, and unwavering strength. I speak favor over your life. Let doors open that were once sealed shut. Let your name be spoken in rooms that align with your purpose. Let the right people notice your presence. Let the right leaders recognize your value. Let the right opportunities find you quickly and clearly. May your gifts attract the assignments that were designed for your hands alone. May timing work in your favor. May resources gather around you. May once crooked pathways become straight. I pray for protection during your journey. Any energy that tries to disturb your peace will be removed. Any person who attempts to dim your light will be distanced. Any circumstance that seeks to drain your strength will lose its grip. You are being covered, shielded, and surrounded by clarity, wisdom, and divine timing. You will not be misled. You will not be redirected into confusion. You will not be delayed by what is beneath you. Your steps will be guided toward purpose, not distraction. I speak healing into the places that once held fear, disappointment, or insecurity. Let every fragment of your past that still tries to influence your present be released. You are not defined by mistakes, losses, or detours. You are defined by the strength that carried you through them. You are defined by the growth that emerged from them. You are defined by the resilience that formed in silence when no one saw the battles you fought. Healing is settling into your heart now, quietly, deeply, completely. And now, I pray specifically for the career assignment that is coming into your life. May the job that aligns with your purpose, your identity, and your destiny reveal itself with unmistakable clarity. May this role elevate you, expand you, and honor the person you have become. May it challenge you in ways that strengthen you and support you in ways that empower you. May it bring stability, abundance, and fulfillment. May it position you in an environment where your skills are valued, your growth is encouraged, and your presence is respected. You are not stepping into a job, you are stepping into destiny. You are not filling a role, you are fulfilling a calling, and that calling is rising before you now. I declare that your future is protected, your purpose is activated, and your path is illuminated. Every step you take from this moment forward will carry alignment. Every decision you make will carry wisdom. Every opportunity that approaches you will carry favor. You are ready, you are worthy, you are chosen, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can interrupt the destiny unfolding ahead of you. Let this prayer settle into your spirit. Let it breathe inside you. Let it echo in your mind as you move through the coming days. And as you anchor this moment, type 777 to seal this prayer over your life, marking this moment as the beginning of your breakthrough. Your story is shifting. Your future is unfolding. Your destiny is rising, and it is already yours.